Hello everybody, and thanks for tuning into my auction. This video is going to serve as a supplementary walk around for the detail on my 99 Acura Integra GSR that's up for grabs now. I'll do my best to describe pretty much everything that's imperfect about it, which is quite a bit on this car. It's a 21-year-old, well-driven and well-used car with about 140,000 miles on it. And it does have some wear and tear consistent with that. So I guess first things first, we'll get started up here up front. The front bumper has been resprayed, as has the majority of the car. There's orange peel and a little bit of mismatch here on the bumper cover. Looks like some dust or a bug there. Some pitting on the lower front lip. This car does have 2 of 3 of the original kit, so it's got the front pieces and the sides but no rear for the optional underbody kit. I do believe the car is lowered, but I don't know the specs on what the suspension consists of. I know there are yellow, Coney yellows in the rear struts, but that's about it. Not in the front. The left rear quarter panel, I think, has had some extensive work done to it. There's some chipping here on the back bumper. The gas door is a slightly different color. If you get it in certain light, you can tell. Tires are in pretty good shape all the way around. Each of the wheels has some curb rash to it. There's some checking or cracking here on the rear bumper. A little bit of a what appears to be like a buffer burn through there. I'll spin the car around and put the other side in the sun so you can kind of get the same effect there. I intentionally do this in broad daylight because it's the most unforgiving light. Regarding this rear quarter as well, there's some, let me get the sun on it right there. You can kind of see there's some paint cracking. This is the worst part with the mismatched paint. You can kind of tell between these two panels how the hatch is quite a bit more purple. Windshield's in pretty good shape. I don't remember any chips there, just a few things, kind of like some pitting with age, nothing that's cracking. I'll show the interior here. So kind of similar to other couple cars I've had, like my Del Sol used to do this. Both of the door panels have this sort of delamination on the material there. This is the leather seats, which became standard for 1999 on the GSR. They're actually in really good shape, with the exception of a little bit of drying up here on the shoulder. And then this bolster, obviously you can see some wear there. There's a little spot of discoloration on the armrest here. That's the button for the factory fogs, which do work. OEM head unit is in the dash. The CD player capability does not work. The gauge cluster on this car, as a few of my YouTube commenters pointed out shortly after I got the car, has components from a Type R, so the 10K RPM speedometer or tach is out of a Type R. Factory floor mats are a little worn, but accounted for. Guess that's it for the driver's side. I'll share some detail now on the next one. We'll flip it around here. Car fires right up, idle's great, got cold air conditioning. And here's the car with the passenger side in the same sunlight. Now this panel you can see is the worst on the whole car in terms of paint match, especially in certain light. It's a lot more purple to it. I think there it captures it pretty good. Supersonic blue, maybe it's not an easy color to match, but they didn't try very hard with that. Same thing up front here. Both the sides have some of this kind of a line here that may actually buff out. I never really attempted it. Some scuffing here on the front right wheel. This area on the right rear quarter has a little, maybe like a sanding mark here, a couple of different places. There's a scratch that runs here, you can kind of see. We'll take a look inside on the passenger side now. Just like the driver's side, the seat's in really good shape, nice and soft. This car was in Southern California its entire life until I brought it to Arizona in the end of 2019. So it's never really been exposed to a harsh environment that way. I had it garaged all year. It looks like the passenger side actually doesn't have the issue with the armrest delaminating a little bit like the driver's side. It's in good shape. There's a little ding in the tweeter grill right here. You can kind of see. But everything's really clean on the door jambs. We'll take a look again here under the hood. Of course, this is the factory original B18. I did compare the number on the engine with what shows on the window sticker, and it matches. So I don't know that there's a bunch to see here other than the transmission does have the LSD stamp on it. So I was told that indicates generally that it's likely out of a Type R. Somebody told me that that means it probably has a little bit lower gearing in terms of, you know, initial takeoff. I definitely see that this car revs really high, like fifth gear at 75 or 80. You're doing well into the 4,000 range. We'll take a look in the hatch now. I do have some of these aftermarket lips. These are supposed to represent a replica of the factory underbody kit if somebody ever wanted to just ditch the mud guards and go with the lip back there. So that's an option. The car didn't come with a spare tire, but I sourced the donut that's in there with all the jack equipment and everything. The hatch struts are brand new. They hold it up really nice. The antenna mast is actually also brand new and it works well. Looks like there's a rip here on the little cargo cover. Something I did want to point out, so I indicated that it appears that there was some body work done on the car. So if you look in here in the hatch, you can tell something was banged up pretty good just based upon the waviness of the metal here. So I just wanted to bring that to everybody's attention. Let's look at the other side. This one looks clean. But yeah, that driver's side, for whatever reason, has been through something. So you can kind of see, it's a good lighting to show you the body right there. Definitely some waviness to it. Show you all the back seat real quick. Nothing really noteworthy there. Leather's in really nice shape. Factory floor mats all the way around. I spent quite a bit of time talking about everything that's wrong with the car in my eyes, but to be honest with you, there's a lot going for it too. It is an original engine to a V18 to the car. It's a surviving, pretty unmodified car with a clean title, good air conditioning, runs and shifts and drives well. So there you go. was going to mention too, the car did have previous issues with California smog. I currently have it on a historic collector insurance policy, so I don't have to smog test it, but I wanted to see if it would pass. So I took it and it did pass Arizona emissions.
Starts beeping at you.
Oh wow.
Beep, beep. So annoying. so I ended up selling that, and I had oh, didn't you have a Prelude?
I did.
Is that you? The
Yeah,
white one?
An 89 Prelude. SI 4WS, yeah.
Nice.
Just compressor after compressor. So a dealer bought it from Texas, or it was a car. So we'll put maybe 500 miles on a year.
Real quick in closing, I wanted to show all the stuff that comes with the car because you all know I'm pretty big on swag and documentation. So I'll just highlight a couple of these items real quick. These are the original tags that were on the car. That sequential 4 is true to the car's original 99 sale in Santa Monica. I have a factory brochure that goes with the car. Thought it was kind of cool. There's actually a supersonic blue centerfold here. So that has to go with the car. I have extra keys for it, so I think I mentioned it somewhere in the ad, but the car has unique keys for the door as well as for the ignition because the ignition cylinder was changed at one point. This is a bottle of the B90P Supersonic Blue Touch-Up paint that will go with the car. The factory owner's manual portfolio with the whole total luxury care customer satisfaction program. I have several copies of the original window sticker. This happens to be a laminated color copy that I've just kept inside the car for whenever I've displayed it in the garage or at a couple of shows. And then, of course, my records binder. This thing got a little out of control. I added up the numbers the other day and I've spent over $3,000 on this car just in upkeep and improvements and maintenance in 1 year I've owned it. And I've only driven it 1,000 miles. So I definitely don't know if it was one of my better financial decisions, but I've enjoyed owning and driving this car for about a year. Anti-theft radio card. This is typical, just stuff that I keep in here. Copy of the Carfax, images from when I bought it, some inspection notes, press releases, some promotional swag that's kind of cool. Ended up having one of these framed and put in my showcase. This is a piece of digital art that my friend Darren drew for me. I'll include that. Some ads, literature. Had some really cool comparison tests with the GSR that I color copied in here. And a couple more window sticker copies. So yeah, all that goes with it. And happy to send this GSR to its new home. Thanks for looking. We'll see ya.